On September 16, 2016, Spencer Hall tweeted, "Again, follow your dreams, because unqualified idiots are paid to do things they shouldn't be doing every day. Why not you?" This is the Museum of Twitter, the show we talk about the most important tweets in the history of Twitter.com. It's not often enough that I feature tweets that are just good advice. And this tweet from Spencer Hall, the best college football writer in America, is just good advice. But it's definitely put in a Twitter way as opposed to like an Instagram or Facebook way. Because advice on places like Instagram or Facebook usually comes set to a sunshine background and it's just some pithy quote about how you can do anything you set your mind to. And Spencer is saying somewhat the same thing, but he's saying not because your mind's special or whatever, but because the world is silly and you don't actually have to be qualified to do anything. Look at the people who are doing big things. And in some ways, this tweet is prescient because he tweeted this back in 2016 and like, it's only gotten more true. And some really successful people have pointed out that they use this to great effect. Like Bomani Jones said, "This is literally what got me into media." Not even joking. And this idea and the quote has motivated people over the years. The late writer Caleb Horton said, "This is what keeps me going most days." Foppy78 said, "Anytime I need motivation, I come back to this tweet." And Dirk Chatelaine said, "This should be posted in schools across America." Like I said, I really like this as a piece of advice because it's not like rah rah, nothing can stop you. It's like, yeah man, the world is a flawed place. Clearly, you can make something yourself. And as more and more unqualified idiots come to run our world, this tweet gets brought up again. Just a few months later, Newbie Jazz Wilborn said apparently they can even get elected. And in February 2025, CJ Fogler tweeted, "Our government." During the writer strike of 2023, Jay Sarkar tweeted out a tweet about some of Netflix's demands with the quote from Spencer Hall. Similarly, when the CEO of Reddit did an AMA that went disastrously, Justin Williams said, "The entire Reddit CEO AMA reminds me of this all-timer Spencer Hall knowledge dart." And most appropriately for this show, when Elon Musk took over Twitter and fired a bunch of people, and Casey Newton reported that a bunch of people who got fired were getting texted saying like, "Hey, you gotta come back." Colin Durant said, to paraphrase EDSBS, "Follow your dreams, because unqualified idiots are paid to do things they shouldn't be every day. Why not you?" And as these things often do, people bring this up in reference to sports things. In March of 2025, Zach Honeycutt said, "Watching Big Ten officiating." And in January 2024, PB, who I assume is a Bears fan, said, "It is 10:51 Central Time and Luke Getsy still has a job." I will note that Luke Getsy lost his job as the offensive coordinator for the Bears by January 10th, so he got his wish. But yeah, this tweet might not have the same numbers as some other tweets I've covered on here, but it does mean a lot to a lot of people, to the point where they brought it into the physical world. Nick Pants on Blue Sky posted a photo saying Monday motivation, and he taped a printed out copy of the tweet to his computer. And not to be outdone, Jim Prosser actually has an embroidered version of the tweet that he keeps in his office. And you might be asking, like Alan Ivermectin did, what if the problem is that your dream is really low paying? And Spencer has an answer for you, which is, that's where we inject fraud into the equation and watch the profits bloom. I'm a generally optimistic and not cynical person, which I think makes me different than a lot of people who have been on Twitter forever. And that's why I like this piece of advice so much, because like, it is a fairly optimistic piece of advice, but it's also clear-eyed about the world being silly. And it's not like you will succeed, it's like, why not? Because the thing that's unsaid here, obviously, is that the unqualified idiots are too much of idiots to stop themselves and be like, "Hey, I'm unqualified." And so if they're not doing that and it's benefiting them, why not do that too? With any luck, you can have success, like getting on TV and writing the word ass on a whiteboard. Follow me for a new tweet every day, and if you like the show, please go to patreon.com/museum of Twitter. We get a weekly bonus episode called the Museum of Not Twitter, and you could vote on what I cover on Subscriber Sundays.